Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at component depreciation, a specialized method available on our professional and business tiers. Unlike standard methods that treats an asset as one single item, component depreciation lets you split a complex asset into significant parts and depreciate each part separately. Why do this? Because complex assets often have parts with vastly different useful lives. If you buy a commercial building, the core structure might last 40 years, but the HVAC system might need replacing in 10 and the roof might need replacing in 20 years. Under international accounting standards like IFRS 16, you are required to depreciate these significant components separately to reflect how economic benefit are consumed. The beautiful part of component depreciation is flexibility. Each subcomponent operates like its own mini asset. You can assign different depreciation methods, distinct salvage values, and individual useful lives. The total depreciation for the parent asset is simply the sum of depreciation of all active parts in any given period. You can mix methods within the same asset. The machine frame might use a straight line, motor engine might use double declining balance, and conveyor belt might use units of production. The depreciation lab engine handles all simultaneously. The total asset depreciation is equal to sum of individual component depreciation amounts. Each component has its own method, life, cost, and salvage value. Now let's look at the component method inside depreciation lab. As you can see, I'm already logged into my depreciation lab account. As I said before, you will require a business tier or a professional tier to access component method of depreciation inside depreciation lab. So here on the left side, you can see specialized section. This is where you find component method of depreciation. Here I have already filled up example data where I was testing the app and calculation. So here you can see the component method, how you will enter the data. So here the cost, you cannot enter anything. As you can see, it is non-fillable field. Same with the life, salvage value also. Why? Because as I said before, parent level, all the individual component will be summed up. So for asset cost and salvage value, all these individual values of component will be summed up. It will appear here. So if you go down, this is the component section. So here you will enter individual components for your particular fixed asset. So here we have a compressor unit, then ductwork system, control panel electronics, and cooling tower. So I have entered the individual cost value, and sum of all this will go here. 300,000, which is the sum of all these values. Same with the salvage value. But useful life will not be same for all these components. Usually if there is a useful life, the component method takes the highest useful life in theory. But if you also have a scenario where you have a units of production, then in that case useful life won't matter. Anyway, the component method is for the components depreciation individually, and then the sum of all depreciation becomes the depreciation of the total parent asset. So here you can see I have filled up the data, and also depreciation lab supports lifetime events on each component. So for example, in this particular case, the cooling tower, which is our fourth component, has an impairment on 1st July. So accordingly, you can configure the same. And the second component, which is control panel electronic, it has a replacement. And similarly, you can also configure disposal. We are disposing the ductwork system on 15 June 2030 for this much amount and expenses. So this way you can configure component method depreciation for your complex assets. We will go through in more detail about component method depreciation, and I'll walk you through the complete flow, show you the report in next videos. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for watching.